Hey y'all, so this is my first or second YouTube video for my nail channel. I was able to record the whole process. So now I'm doing the voiceover, and excuse if you hear anything in the background like cars. I have very thin walls, so I'm sorry. So let's get into it. I now put gloves because the gel gets on my hands and everything starts to get sticky. So here, I don't know about any other nail tech, at least doing press-on nails. The nail is so difficult to try to figure out people's, numbers. Since I haven't really sold and I haven't really got clientele, so I'm not used to people sending me their numbers yet to figure out what really is the average numbers. So I had to use my brain power, so much brain power to figure this out. But I think I finally got it after months. After months. Not that I've been doing it for like months, but here and there, other things I had to get ready for the business. But at the end, this was still a struggle. But it's one of those things that you have to do. I have to go through first the clientels and them sending me their numbers so I could really have a better picture. So right now it's just brain power and guess. Okay, so here I'm going in filing them. I normally don't file. You'll see how my process is. But with these specific nails, the tip, when I paint them with gel, it's I guess it's a little hill. So when I paint with gel, it kind of accumulates there on the tip. So I just file it down. Now I do go in and wipe it with alcohol just to take off all the oil and excessive dust. Now here in this process, I do use this primer and a fan. So the fumes haven't hit me yet, but I gotta get a little jiggy with it. So now I go in with a little brush and I go on this. Now let me just say, if anybody goes this route, just do not let it leak underneath because it just turned it white. And yes, I took it off, but it was just an extra mission. So I got heavy with my hand with it. So yeah, just be aware of that. This, because this is the process of not filing. I do not like to file so much. I don't have a duster, a dust collector, so it's just, and plus it's so time consuming. So I do that. It works out fine. It works out pretty fine. Now here, when I do the nails, first I do the tips. But honestly, at the end of this whole process, I do file the tips just so they could be crisp. So most of the times, it already takes off all the layers. So is it worth it? Yes, no, it's up to you. Now in this video, I try to do actually Valentine nails. It's the process. This is from a beginner phase or whatever it is. When I start doing nails, I don't necessarily have a design. Most of the times I sit and whatever comes to mind, I try to play like that. But most of the time, whatever comes to mind is whack. And not whack in the sense that it's because when I get into the process, it takes me so long that I start getting frustrated and I start doing some extra stuff, and it's just, well, in this one you'll see plain what I mean. But specifically with this process, I ended up trying to do a stamping with, I didn't have stamping gel, it was just regular gel. So it kind of went left field, and that's that I did the stamping beforehand. Like the day before, I tried to see if the stamping process thing will work. And it left me believing I could do a whole set. But that's why you need the right things for the right things. If you try to cut corners, it would just take you longer than usual, more frustration. So I eventually, probably, if I get into stamping, I don't know, because I really want to start doing my artwork. I want to practice in artwork. So but in the near future, if I try to do stamping, I will get the right product for the stamping, like gel stamping, right? So here when I paint, sometimes some polishes will leak on the bottom. So before I cure it, I try to keep my nails as clean as possible. There's times things might slip and I forget, but ultimately I always try to keep it clean. So I did about 3 layers of the purple polish. Now I'm putting top coat. I'm putting top coat because after I stamp, it's going to be with white polish. I'm going to go ahead and put some of the powder to make it ombre, the design that I'm going to put. So I don't want the powder sticking to anything. So just to make it perfect, I just went ahead and put top coat. Yes, I could have put matte coat. For really, honestly, I don't think it matters. It's just whichever one, just to take off the sticky layer. And also I wanted to file it just to be a little crisp. And I can't do it once I do any design because it just might fall on the design. So whatever, I just do the top coat and I trim it down, file it, do all the shaping. It doesn't really need a lot of shaping, but I like it crisp. You know, sometimes the gel does build up in the side. It shouldn't build up as much, but just to keep it that crisp look, I just go ahead and file it. And then I clean everything up. This process, the whole thing took longer than expected. So now if you get these buffers, you could cut them in half, bro. It saves money and you don't need the whole damn thing. Honestly, you do not. So here I'm buffing it just to make the lines the lines from the filing smoother so you won't see them as much. Then I go ahead and wipe it down with some alcohol. Just to get all the dust, if there's any sticky by any chance, any oils, anything. So now this is my builder gel. I just take this builder gel and put it into that little pot. I went ahead and did all the nails that I wasn't going to do the main design in. They were all going to have little rhinestones on the top. So I just went ahead and put some builder gel I use my builder gel as glue. It works perfect. I love it. For me, there's no need to buy anything else. And honestly, gel does not hold gems. It does not hold gems. The whole concept of it is that if you put enough, you kind of put it around, and when you put it to cure it, it shrinks around the gem and it holds in place. Now, if any of that piece of the gel trims off, the gem will come off. So that's why people usually do use glue, like actual glue, not gel glue, because that obviously is gluing to the rhinestones. So for the ones that don't have a wax pen that I'm using right now, get one. It saved me a lot. I used to get like tweezer to pick up the rhinestones and stuff like that. It was just you have to have the right tools for the right project. Simply said, right tool for the project, because you will struggle. You will have extra struggle. You will get the job done, but is the time worth it? The extra time? Would you rather spend the money and get what you need than spend the time? It's however you want to do it. So after I finished that, yeah, I did the top coat, and those nails with the rhinestones are done. Like completely done. So just when I thought I only had like about 30 minutes left, right? Because you see, I've only did the ring finger. I was going to stamp the ring fingers. So I was like, okay, probably 30 minutes, something like that. I think it took me an extra hour and a half for 2 fingers. That's with me doing the stamp, taking my time, thinking about it, if it looks good, if it's not, how to fix it, what do I do now? Okay, you'll see the whole process. I don't want to speak ahead, but it took me an hour and a half to do 2 damn nails. Oh, man, the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real, okay? It's all in the process, and I love to learn. And no, right here I just did some shooting sign. I ain't no shooter, people. Like, ooh, I'm not nothing like that. So it's that music that gets to you. So, well, if you guys use stamp, I do, instead of a lint roller, because you could use lint roller, you could use anything that's sticky that doesn't leave the residue. This is just to take out hairs or whatever stuck to your silicone stamp, right? So just do that. I mean, you don't have to buy, that's things that you don't have to. I'm sure they have something specific for that, but I don't know about that. So here I got some alcohol just to wipe it down, make sure it's all dried up. And this is the design I'm doing. And just to let you know, at least for gel, you know what, for stamping gel, if you get stamping gel, I don't know if it's the same or not, but for me, at least with this process, the thin lines work the best. Something big, it did not, because when I went to scrape it, it just took all the polish out of the big heart. So you will see me try to fill it in, but it was just a mission from the get-go. And I should know, when it's a mission from the get-go, it's like abort mission. Abort mission. But, you know, I'm very, 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 very hard-headed. And I'm like, let me do this. And, you know, at the end of the day, I switched it up. But if you don't go through something and, you know, you won't know. So now I know. Now I know. So here I'm scraping it. I'm scraping it a lot just so I don't get the gel. I've never worked with stamp either way with regular gel, so it was just all new to me. But yeah, so here I was going in with the white polish. Everything that I did just kept adding on to the problem. So I had to clean the stamp again because it fell. So here I picked it up. Here I'm trying to show you, and this is another thing, my camera is just like whatever. So then what I do is, once I stamp it, well, here I'm trying to fix it up, so whatever, I'll let you see that. But once I stamp it, I do put it in the lamp only for 10 seconds. I played with putting it a little more. You shouldn't have put it more than 10 seconds because it'll freeze too much, and then it would just, I guess, break or whatever. But whatever, I put it in for like 10 seconds, and this is where I learned that why one of those clear stamping is good. I was trying to figure out how to stamp it because I couldn't see how it was gonna, you know, be. So I just ended up just stamping it. Okay, now here I'm trying to show, you can see a little bit, the thin lines, some of them were so faded. The heart came out okay. Nothing that I could fix it. So I could fix the heart. So here I just took the plastic, not remembering that I had plastic gloves on. But you know. So I took some alcohol and I was trying to remove the surrounding, some of the gel that was on the stamping part that wasn't supposed to be stamped. So I was trying to clean it, and then I saw the little lines that they weren't actually as good, so I was trying to remove some. And then here I tried to fill it in because the heart had an outside outline that you could not see. So I just went ahead and did it with a pen. I was like, there's no big deal. I'll just do it. It's not a big deal. But then, you know, things just started getting out of hand, okay? So here I'm with the powder. I did cure it. After I tried to touch it up. I did cure it. So then I went ahead and started doing with the powder. The idea was to do an ombre thing with this powder. So I put the powder all on wherever the gel was. So yes, I dusted, and then I was looking at it and I realized that where the thin lines were I guess these vines, it just wasn't looking good. So I tried to take it all off so it could stay white and only had the heart colored. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just a pad with some alcohol, trying to wipe the surrounding. I was actually trying to take out the little white lines, but they just, obviously it was gel, it was already cured. I couldn't do anything about it. It was just on it. So then I went ahead with top coat. I've gone off top coat with powder, so I've never run, but this one specifically, because everything was going wrong, so you know, it's just one after another. The powder was I wiped it off, man. The powder was going everywhere. I just wiped it off. I wiped it off, and I was gonna start from scratch, and that's literally what I did. I started from scratch. From the only perfect thing was the purple polish. So, but before I started from scratch, right, I tried to do some more saving. So I had this gel that I do, and that went down like that, and I was like, why didn't I abort mission? But I actually was not so pissed right now. I was just a little frustrated because my energy was high, and I thought I got this, and I did get it at the end. I was happy with the results. What I have here is just a mix with powders. Actually, one of those neon powders that I have that I was trying to put with powdered. I have that with base gel. I just mix it up. It comes out good. It comes out perfect. So if you want to make your colors, you could make them. So here I did fill in the heart. But then the heart has an outline, so that's what I was going to do with the purple. So right now I'm just curing it at the moment, getting jiggy with it, trying to like release whatever stress I'm going through. And then I went ahead with doing the purple outline. Now that I think about it and I seen it, it didn't come out as bad as I thought. It's just the problem is it kind of looked a little cheapy to me. And I don't want to do cheapy nails. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them are very cute, but I just didn't, that's not the look that I was going for, you know. So then I cured it and I realized I hated it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm done messing around with all this. I'm just gonna file it off and just put some rhinestones, because rhinestones just always work out for me, right? They always work out for me. So I was like, I still didn't even have a design in mind, but I said, freak it, freak all this time consuming thing I just wasted my time on, and let me just waste my time on something that, just because this wasn't working out. So then I cleaned it with some alcohol, and I'm going to put base just to fill out the little dents that happened when, you know, when I filed it down. It did have some dents, so the base is just to fill in those little cracks a little more. And here I'm going to use some silver pearls, some builder jaws glue, and some rhinestones. I still didn't know what I was going to do, but I believed in myself, just like I believed in the first one, but I was like, I got this. So I just ended up doing the top rhinestone because I had them all on the top and the other nail. So I did just that, and yeah, and then you'll see the process of what I came up with. Now with the rhinestones, I like to pick them up with the brush. I think that's just the easiest way I found. And this is the design, the first design, the start of the design, and this is the rest. That's what I did. And then I did it with top coat. The pearls, I've learned you have to coat them with top coat because they will tarnish. Like the gold will turn dark brown, you know, and the silver will most likely, I don't know what color it will turn, but it won't be as silvery. So here I go very slow, make sure not to get on the rhinestones and get on the pearls. So yeah, I was happy with the results, and now it's the show and tell. And I was happy how it came out. I just wish I did this from the beginning.